Good morning, Floss Tube friends, and welcome. If you're new here, I hope you find something that you like to see, and welcome back. If you're coming back, I have a little tribe, and it's lovely to see people come back time after time. Today is April the 18th. It is Good Friday, so happy Easter to all of those who celebrate, and if you don't celebrate, enjoy your long weekend. My name is Tricia. This is a channel all about cross stitch, and I hope that you will find something that you like to see here. Today, I have a little friend with me actually. Let me show you. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Jack. This is Jack. That's his little spot when I'm stitching. So it's nap time. So he's having a little snooze. Before we get into everything, what are you all doing for Easter or the long weekend? Do you have plans? Are you going to stitch all weekend? We have family coming, so there's going to be 15 of us. 6 of those are children, so they are anticipating an Easter egg hunt. So we are working on that. We have everything ready. We just got to put things together, basically. Anyway, that's going to be our weekend. I have a lot to show you. I think I have somewhere in the region of 9 WIPs, which are works in progress. And in those, one of them is a new start, and I have a finish. Yay! So let's get started, because I'm sure everybody is busy and got things to do. So I hope you've got yourself something to drink and you have a project that you enjoy stitching on, because sometimes we have projects that we don't enjoy stitching on. I have to say. Anyway, the first one I have for you is Extraordinary Birds. It's a stitch along with Lola Crow. It's the first time I've done one of hers, and this is the first part. So I'm doing pretty well with this. I really want to get this big part finished before the next part comes out, which is, I think it's like May the 16th, something like that. We had 6 weeks to do this. So let me show you where I'm at. And this is where I'm at. We have the barn owl and we have some kind of a parrot over here. I'm stitching this on a 32 count linen, and it's frozen by Bestitch Me. It's a very, very pale blue, which doesn't show up very well on the camera. It comes in as a bit grey. There are a little, here and there is a bit of a hint of pink, which I thought was kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm really happy with my progress so far. Here we go. Yeah. So that's my first one. That's the new start. You know, I've had this overwhelming feeling this month. I think it's because of everything that's going on in the world at the moment, that I just wanted to start every single thing that I have, which would be insane. But yeah, I just want to start things, which I know I will regret, but hey, that is the way it is. This next project I have to show you is, it's the Union Jack by Vivsters. Let me just see if I can pull up a photo. This is it here. I really should be stitching the Canadian flag. I do feel an overwhelming need to stitch the Canadian flag. I do have that chart, but this is what I started with. I'm not using all the call for colors. The gray is different. It's a darker gray, and the blue is different. It's more of a royal blue, 820. I'm not sure what the gray is. I think it's number 2. Anyway, this is coming along. Let me just get it so you can see it properly. I have a hanging thread. I'll try and move that somehow. Yeah, can't move the hanging thread, but this is really coming along now. I'll bring it in closer. So I'm on the second page. I started the second page. There are only 6 pages altogether, so it's very wide, but not very deep. I would like to at least get the second and third page done this year. I don't know if that is possible. It would be great if I could, because then that would be the whole of the top row, which to me would be great progress. So that's my Union Jack. Sometimes it's a challenge to keep things straight. Okay, this next one is a finish. Okay, so today is my son's birthday. He's 41. Wow. And you know, he has the cheek to say, I feel very much like 41. And I'm just like, oh dear. And tomorrow is the anniversary of my mum's passing. She died during COVID, the beginning of COVID actually. Yeah. So I did this piece for her. It's called What Remains, and what remains is love. I managed to do, I only had the satin stitch left to do, which was all the way along here, and then filling in the flowers in these urns. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So this one will be getting framed very soon, because I have an IOU from Christmas from my husband saying I can frame any piece that I would like. So I think I'd like to get that one framed. I'm also thinking, because I changed my craft studio around, I have a massive blank wall back here. So what I would like to do is to put a couple of those floating shells up there. So where you have that lip on them, so you can just stand photos or cross stitch on them. I thought that would be the ideal spot. I do have one frame piece and it's never made it on the wall yet. Okay, that's just the way I am. I'm not one for putting things on the wall, which is crazy when you do cross stitch. I'd rather have things in a bowl or standing up on a shelf, or yes. So anyway, let's move on. That's just me. How do you display your cross stitch? Is all of it on walls, or do you display it in other ways? I would really like to know, especially if you've got some good ideas. Some new ideas. Okay, this next one is my Shadow Lane. It is Evening in the Park. it is a shockingly bad photo. Now, I had problems with this. I did not know what my next stitch was supposed to be. I did not know if it was 2/4 stitches, because it was a square, like your normal square, and in 2 corners of the square was another little square. And I'm like, well, what is that? So I was watching Teresa Little Stitcher, and she did a blow-by-blow account of how her evening in the park was stitched, and that's when I found out exactly what I needed to do. So I got this out and I stitched on it in these last 2 weeks. So what I did in here are little half stitches. Isn't that, you can see the sparkle. So I did this here and round here, and then I did at the bottom here. Yeah, so it's coming along slowly. I only put in 350 stitches. In these last 2 weeks, the total amount of stitches that I have is 6,769, which is not a lot, but I'll take it, you know. Just seem to have a lot of things going on, and you know, you can't always just stitch all the time. I try, but it's not working. The Lola Crow stitch along, what I'm going to do with that is my husband is a huge Maple Leafs fan, ice hockey, and they're in the playoffs. So every time they have a game or a match or whatever you call it, I don't know what you call it, I am going to stitch on my Lola Crow. And if I'm all caught up with that, I will then stitch on my, what are they called? My Santas, Prairie Schooler Santas. I need to get 2 of those finished this year, so I can have 5 standing on my mantle, which I need to get a friend to cut some wood for me. I really have to do that. Okay, next up, I have Satsuma Street Peace and Light, which is very apt for right now in more ways than one. I really did well with this. I'm really getting along with it. I think I can finish it next month, maybe. If not next month, the month after, which is pretty good, because then once this one is finished, I'll have 5 finishes for this year, which is pretty amazing. So this is what I have so far. So all I have to do is his head and the candles, which is probably more stitching than I think it's going to be. Yeah, so I need to do these candles along here, and then from here up, and the little leaves there, and the candle on his head. But I think if I really pushed, I could get that finished. Yeah. So very happy with that, because I've struggled with this. I find the fabric very challenging to stitch on. It is, I can tell you what the fabric is. It is an Aida, an 18 count Aida, and it's Mystic by Picture This Plus. And gosh, those holes are so tight, and I flip-flopped back and forwards. I think I started this, I kept stitching a little bit and then not liking it because I did it 1/1 and it didn't cover enough. But 2/1, it just seems really tight. But I went with the 2/1 because I wanted the coverage. So there we go. Okay, next up is another one that's been hanging around. This is 12 Days by Bothy Threads. And I am in this one here. 8 Maids a Milking, is that what it is? Yeah. 8 Maids a Milking. And let me show you. How much did I get done on this one? 457 stitches. I need to get, I think it's 3,000 stitches bi-monthly. So 1,500 stitches at least a month. And I'm falling short. I did this month and last month. Maybe in May it'll get a bit easier. Okay, I've got thread everywhere here. So let me just show you this first. This is the whole piece. Where that thread is there, I made a mistake there. So I'm stitching all the way round and then I'll go back to that. But as you can see, I'm stitching in here. So I almost got the pail of milk. See, not much at all. I think I'm getting slower and slower. Oh dear. It's just like that sometimes, I think. We shall get there. At least I got stitches in it, which is definitely the main thing. So it's like a school report, needs more effort. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, I have this one. I stitch with a friend on Wednesdays, and I decided to stitch my little Christmas pillows. I've completed this one and I'm working on this one. And I have it on a green linen, and I'm using a Roxy Flossco floss. Sorry, words. So this is the one I'm doing. It's Christmas crackers and Christmas puddings. This is the floss. I think it's something like cranberry, but it goes really well on this fabric. I'm not really a green person, and I say that, and the main project that I'm stitching is really pretty much totally green, but anyway. My full coverage is almost totally green. Okay, so that's that one. I didn't get many in there either. It was just one afternoon, so I got 314 stitches in there, which isn't too bad. And now I'm going to show you this next one. I did take a before picture. How brilliant is that? So this is Stargazer by Mirabilia. A lot of people are stitching this or have stitched it. This is my before picture, trying to get the glare off. So where that hanging thread is, that's where I'm starting. I'm really coming along with the main dress. I'm worked really, I guess, from the middle down, and I wanted to get the whole skirt finished before I moved up to the top. This is stitched on 32 count vintage country mocha on the wrong side. That's all I can say. but I just wanted, I had to start this over again. This was one of those ones that I had to restart. So I was scrambling for fabric so I could restart it. Okay, let's get this organized. And this is where I'm at. So I have been stitching from here all the way up. I got quite a few stitches in here, 863 over 2 days. So she's looking pretty spectacular. This is how much I've done altogether. I'll move it back. Man, this one has so many beads in it. Because the beads come, if you look, the beads are all up here, never mind actually in the figure herself. They're all over there. Lots and lots of beads. But she's going to be gorgeous when she's finished, I have to say. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, those are my whips and new starts. Oh no, actually I forgot one. Hang on a second. Let me just get a picture for you. I only missed the main one. How can you do that? Just trying to find the details. And a photo. Here he is. And I'm the one who doesn't particularly like stitching green. Okay, I get the glare off him. This is Better to See You With. I just love this. It's so amazing. This is a lifetime project for me. It is 671 stitches wide by 825 high and 118 colours. Oh, it's got all bits all over it. Let me get that off. Okay. And if you look at this, I'm all the way up here. I'm in this ear. I'm on my 3rd page. I do love it. But I have to say, you can see all those greens, right? I'm sorry for the glare. You see all the greens? I'm getting in a bit of a pickle with this 3rd page. I like to do my version of extreme cross country within the page, only I'm getting lost and I have to keep reorienting myself. And it is quite a challenge. Here he is. I don't know if I'll get this 3rd page done. So yeah, you can see where I'm at. Yeah, I keep losing myself and it's very hard to find yourself again when all the greens kind of merge together and I'm only just starting in the greens. So I have to get a more logical way of stitching it, probably block by block, because I just don't want to completely lose myself and make a mess of the whole thing. So yeah, so I may go back up to the top and just start going across and behave myself. I kind of wanted to kind of jog about, but I don't think that's going to help me. I'm not that experienced a full coverage stitcher. I've done one full coverage, which I did quite well at. I did the stitch along with Heaven and Earth Designs last year. This project is a Cross Stitch Studios, I think. I better double check that. Yeah, you can find this chart on the Cross Stitch Studio, but look how that is. It's so dramatic. And she's walking into his mouth. When I saw this, I was blown away. Blown away, I say. So what am I going to be doing in the future? In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have another new start. It is Easter, so Easters require rabbits or bunnies. So I am going to start the white rabbit. I got this chart on Etsy. It's designed by Maria Brovko. Yeah, you can find it on Etsy. But as I constantly feel that I go down a rabbit hole, which is where the white rabbit went, straight down the rabbit hole, I feel it's very appropriate. So I'm going to be stitching it on Lunar Moth by Bestitch Me. It is a 32 count linen. I do like their fabrics. I'm kind of thinking of rejoining their Fabric of the Month club. Some of considering it's a very small chart, it has a lot of flosses, which I had most of them. There's a couple of flosses, and depending where they are within the chart, may get lost. Look at this. But if it's within white, well, there isn't any green stitched on the outside, so it should work actually, because it will be surrounded by white, same as this one. It's another green. So I'm excited to get that started, probably on Sunday, Easter Sunday, family permitting. I never stitch in front of my family. When they come, I like to spend the entire time with them, even if I'm kind of half dead in the corner because of being too exhausted after all the preparations for different meals. And yeah, one of my daughter-in-laws is allergic to cats, and I have two. So I'm constantly vacuuming pretty much every day for a good week before she gets here. Even though it's not exactly the fur, it's the dander that causes her allergy. But I try. I mean, I just do whatever I can because I want her to be comfortable when she's here. That's always my goal. So that's that. I'll be starting at least this. There may be another one. I have one over there and I'm not sure if I'm starting it or not yet. As far as Whitgo goes, so I had a bit of a catastrophe. One of my Whitgo goals was a floral hedgehog. And I hadn't stitched on this since 23, sometime in 23. And I was stitching on it and I was thinking, I wasn't enjoying it because I was stitching two over two. And I didn't like it because I stitch, what I'm stitching my Better to See You with, that's just 1 over 1 on 25 count. So this was 2 over 2 on, I don't know, 28 count, something like that. Anyway, I was looking at it as I was stitching along and I was thinking, this isn't going to fit on here. So I was like, okay, I have all the thread. I am just going to start over. So I started over. And you know, when in some charts you have an arrow going this way and then an arrow going that way. Yeah, I was stitching it in the wrong colour. So that was it. Whether I pick it up again, I don't know. Whether I'll restart it and finish it, I don't know, because I have so many projects and so many things that I really want to stitch. Even though I love hedgehogs. I did see another hedgehog chart yesterday on a floss tube, can't remember which one. And I'm thinking, I might try and get that. It was a Riola's kit. Who was that? I can't remember who it was. It was a British girl, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and it was a gorgeous hedgehog. Anyway, so yeah, so that was one of my whip goes. And the other whip go was the one for my mum, What Remains. So that is finished. Oh. No, it wasn't one. I had a free spot. So my other whip goes are Pandemic, which I have on my stand over there. You can just about see it. You can see the back of it. And then the other one is In the Arms of Grace, which is Stitches So Beautiful, full coverage. And I haven't worked on that in forever, certainly not last year. So I'm looking forward to picking that up and getting some stitches in it. And on the agenda for the next 2 weeks is Song of the Nightingale by Modern Folk Embroidery. Also my Changing Seasons by Fox and Rabbit. Reaching Skywards, Modern Folk Embroidery. And then September's Revenge, which is an Evertote. It was an Evertote little sampler. Not sure who the designer was. But anyway, you'll find out within the next 2 weeks, so please stay tuned. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I really bombed through that very quickly. Oh, I do have some haul. Let me show you my haul. I have wanted these books for the longest time. This is Cross Stitch in the Forest by Max Pigeon. Now, I'm sure you've all seen this before. It is a great book. I could stitch almost every single one in here, if only I had the time. And the other one is Cross Stitch for the Earth by Emma Congdon. I have her other 2 books, and I really wished I'd bought this one first, because I could stitch most of these in here as well. So I'd like to do some of these out of these 2, because I think some of my family would really appreciate them. There's one in here my grandson would love. Where is it? It's one with all the bugs. He's into all of that. I can't find it. Let's see. Which one is it? Maybe it's not in this one. Huh. Maybe it's in this one. Oh, I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to go through them all. Maybe I'll find the ones that I'm referring to and show you next time. I will be back in 2 weeks' time. What I would like to do to finish this floss tube and all of my floss tubes moving forward is to leave you with a quote. We are living in such challenging times, a lot of chaos and turmoil, a lot of like just not knowing where things are going to go. So I figured that I would finish my floss tubes with a quote, something a little more uplifting, that something that maybe you can think about while you're stitching. And I will put it in the description box as well. So this is a quote by Mark Twain. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. And love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. Never regret anything that makes you smile. So what could you do for this? You could pull up your favorite comedian on YouTube. Like, I'm really into Michael McIntyre right now. He is quite funny. You could watch a favorite comedy show, something like Big Bang or Friends, whatever you're into, or watch a funny movie. Try and keep things light to help keep your mood lifted and steady. And that way, when you focus on these things, then you don't think about other things. So I'm going to leave you with the quote. So happy stitching, happy Easter, have fun with your family, hug them close, and I'll see you again in another 2 weeks. Bye for now.